Right everyone, bit of a different video today. I am in the Botanic Gardens of Oxford, which is one of, if not the oldest botanic gardens in the UK. It's over 400 years old. They do a vast amount of research here, and I'm going to try and take you on a tour. It is, I don't even know what month we're in, November, so it's not in all its blooming glory, but we will have a walk around and see if I can catch anything that is remotely interesting. So I've obviously already entered. That's the entrance, little information cubicle there. It leads you into the big grounds now. To the left it states there are a number of, doesn't call them greenhouses, calls them glass houses. So we'll have a wander. I do need some food, and what I'll try and do as well is catch as much of the information as I can. So this states, evolution and diversity of flowering plants has long fascinated scientists, including Darwin, who described the origin and early evolution as an abominable mystery. The evolution of flowers and fruits probably led to the great diversification of angiosperms, because many flowers attract pollinators and many fruits are eaten by seed dispersing animals. So this would, I assume in spring and summer, be in full bloom. Not quite in full bloom at the moment. You probably hear some children in the background. I think there's a school somewhere close by. I assume you can just walk in. I'm always fascinated by spaces like this. So this is the river where they do, I was going to say in the summer, they do the punting, but it's like they might be hopeful for some autumnal guests. Park there was where the kids were just playing, you could probably hear, and in the distance there was just what looked like a school sports rugby session on. It's actually a little bit busier here than I thought it would be, so the videos will stop and start because I don't want to capture anybody. So I think the entrance to the this chain of glass houses is here, yes. The glass houses. I'll probably walk in straight to a group of people. Okay. Oh. So these are all carnivorous. And they look like they are in some sort of bog-like substrate. I'm not going to catch this on camera. Darwin was fascinated by carnivorous plants. He studied their feeding mechanisms carefully, offering them meat and glass, blowing on them and prodding them with hair. He concluded that only the movement of an animal would cause the plants to react. Interesting. This is quite, not too humid in here, but it's not cool. Okay. Glass house number 1. The water lily house. Big old banana tree hitting the roof. I'm almost expecting to see a frog sat on the lily pad. It's crazy that each one of these plants has got its own label with its country of origin, its Latin name, every single one. There's definitely fish in here. I can see the water swirling, but it's quite murky. I think people are coming. Oh, I just keep getting dripped on my head. Interesting. It's very peaceful in here. Very calming, which is good. Very good. Okay. I think there's one more. Oh, scared the living life out of me. The cloud forest. I feel like something happens in here, but I'm not quite sure what. Or is that just fancy drainage? No. There's a smoke machine. Another smoke machine. This cloud forest house display is inspired by Mount Kinabalu in Borneo, the highest mountain in the Malay archipelago, standing at just over 4,000 metres tall. It's a World Heritage Site famous for its numerous endemic orchids and carnivorous pitcher plants. The pitcher plants we grow, some of which are native to the mountain, are an important resource for the research that we are undertaking into how new species evolve. Fascinating. Look at this, look. Tree shrews feed on the nectar of these pitcher plants and then go toilet in the pitchers. This is a mutualistic strategy, providing the plants with nutrient-rich manure and the animals with sugary nectar. Wow. There's quite a few flies in here. Look at the size of these things. I mean, there's my finger. Fanged pitcher plant. Ow. I thought I'd put my head in it then. It's just a leaf. Where's the fanged pitcher plants? I can't see one. Oh, I've not got fangs. That's pretty cool though, look at that. And again, another mutual relationship, this time with a species of ants. The ants live off the nectar. In return, they attack any weevils which try and eat the shoots that are developing on the plant. Okay. The last sentence, this plant needs very hot conditions and does not grow in our collections just yet. That's a little bit deceptive then, isn't it? Because I was looking for the fanged pitchers and got attacked by that leaf. Plants from high places. Interesting. Okay, so it's like alpine plants. I must confess, these don't really do much for me. Every botanical garden I've been to, there's normally got a section like this, and yeah, not my cup of tea. Right, I'm going to stop and we'll carry on once I walk back around the corner again. So I'm just walking along the river. This is still part of the Botanical Gardens. You can't get to these glass houses. This must be where they do the research, I'm not sure. If anyone's interested, it was £7.50 to get in, and then 50p gift aid, which I of course paid. I find places like this really quite soothing and calming. Okay, so no entry, staff only, Charlotte Building, Botanical Garden, offices, the Friends of Oxford Botanic Gardens. Okay, yeah, you can't get in there. It's a shame though, it looks like a pretty cool setup. I'm going to hold you above the head, look like a peeping Tom, but you can see they've got quite a few. Look like a peeping Tom. Yeah. I'm hoping I can get, oh look, they've got all, get a sneak insight into what's going on in there. Be fascinating to see what sort of work they do here. Right, I'm hoping I can get back into the main area. Okay, I think I can. Yeah, I think I can. I'm going to follow the river for a bit though, and then swing a right. And get back into the main area of the gardens. Tell you what I will say as well, this place is meticulously maintained. There's a chap over there doing the lawn. I've seen quite a number of staff as well. I was at Birmingham Botanical Gardens, can't remember when now. And one thing that did surprise me was the lack of staff for somewhere so big. I see, so this is the perimeter and it's all fenced off. And look, just to carry on the theme, everywhere it's got the plant name, Latin name and the country of origin for every single bush, shrub, tree, plant. The information is absolutely fantastic, which is really good to see. What are we looking at? Maybe a trumpet of some sort? Can't think of the name of that instrument. I think you blow it. A wind instrument of some sort. Okay, so I just stopped the recording just because of the noise of the lawnmower, but I was just walking past this section here that looked really quite wild and wondered why it was this way. But it is deliberate to increase the biodiversity of the area and it to be attractive to insects. The plants come from 3 different biographic regions. It does just look like shrubland. I know a few people watch my videos who aren't from the UK, so I will add on to the end of this video a little bit of Oxford itself. It's such a beautiful place in the UK. There's, you know, real fantastic architecture. So not really the purpose of my videos. I mean, this one isn't really in line with many of my videos anyway, because most of my videos are on bonsai. But if you don't want to have a little bit of a poorly narrated guided tour of Oxford, I'll do my best. I mean, look at all the, I think you can see them, all the little information tabs for all the little rockery plants that are here. So sorry, I was reading that and you can't see it. All of these plants, if the information panel is to be believed, are all from Greece. Oh look, and then this little island contains plants from Cyprus. Quite a unique approach. Mediterranean Turkey. Oh. Do you know what? I must come back here in mid-spring once everything has bloomed. I mean, mid-spring seems like a long way away from this moment in time, but I'm sure I'll get there. Crete. Interesting. Crete is the largest of the Aegean islands and has a famously rich flora of about 2,000 species. Okay, let's keep on wandering. Sorry, I've just done, without knowing, Sibthorpe's Voyages in the footsteps of Diosaurides. (1786). Can you imagine making that journey in the 1800s? What a time to be alive for adventure. Okay, I will continue to walk and bring you back. You must be able to walk through there because there's a path. I just saw an information tab that looked like it might be interesting. Could be wrong. I quite like that it's so varied. You've got the formal paths, you've got the cross-country paths. Here we go. Purple foxglove used to treat atrial fibrillation. Do you want to know an interesting fact about atrial fibrillation? Here's one for you to wake you up. So a recent study has just been published by the American Heart Association, and it's the longest study of its kind, 18 years, on the subject of work-related stress. And what the study found, and it was a large sort of pool size of people as well, and what the study found was, and it was sorry, to add a bit more context, it was sort of white collar workers, so office workers, and the findings showed that those who experience work-related stress are nearly twice as likely to develop very serious heart-related conditions, including atrial fibrillation, in later life. Almost twice as likely, almost 100% more likely, which is fascinating. And, you know, let's put a bit of perspective into that. They were just looking at the heart, not all of the other sort of symptoms that work-related stress can result in, be it physical or psychological. So I think, hello little squirrel, you're not experiencing work-related stress, are you? I think in the next 5 or 10 years, I can't speak with any other country, but in the UK, we are going to see a significant change when it comes to stress in the workplace. It's already covered under UK health and safety law, and I think the HSE have, in September actually, so only 2 months ago, just commenced a don't recall the specifics. There's 3 elements to it, but basically a consultation with medical practitioners, with workplaces, to get more of an understanding of precisely what work-related stress is, the mechanism of diagnosis, because unfortunately you can go into a GP and within 8 minutes walk out with a note saying you're experiencing work-related stress, which isn't necessarily true. And then what controls can be introduced to counteract it. So, yeah, I'm expecting workplaces to change in the future. Okay, I'm finding this quite fascinating. So this whole bed here, of which because of the time of year looks quite sparse and decaying, is full of plants from the 1600s that were used for medicine. So all the plants in this bed appear in the Pharmacopoeia Londinensis, published in 1618 by the Royal College of Physicians, written in Latin and the first of its kind in England, contained ingredients and medicines that represented standard medical practice when the Oxford Bontanic Garden was founded. The publication was backed by a royal proclamation from King James I. No one was allowed to concoct any medicine or sell any substance that was not in the Pharmacopoeia. In 1649, the English herbalist, apothecary and astrologer Nicholas Culpeper outraged the physicians by translating the Pharmacopoeia into English and describing the use of the different preparations, something that was omitted from the original. Now the information was accessible to anyone who could read. Fascinating. How fascinating. Finally, the pharmaceutical industry of today were held under such close supervision. I'm just going to go back on myself. I mean, I'm a tree enthusiast after all, but look at this. The reason I saw it was there was 2, I assume they're students, just photographing this tree. And there was a gust of wind and all of the leaves just showered them in golden foliage. Now, I'm sure I don't need to tell you what type of tree this is. Foliage is pretty much a giveaway, but what's fascinating is on the, you're not going to be able to see on that side, the leaves are bright yellow. On this side, they've still got a tinge of green. So, 1953, 70 years ago that was planted. Does that mean it's 70 years old, or does that mean it was planted as a juvenile? Don't know, but that is by far the biggest ginkgo I've ever seen in my life. I definitely do have sticks in pots by comparison. I've just seen more. This is fascinating to me. Global medicine. This is interesting. So, obviously, again, I'm sure you can see all the ginkgo leaves falling. So, some estimate that up to 80% of the world's population still use plants as a source of affordable healthcare. Medicinal plants are often the primary source of healthcare, especially in rural areas where access to modern medicine is limited. Very, very, very interesting. Lady of the Manor and female healers. So I assume this place used to be called Physic Gardens because it's been referenced a couple of times. And of course, being Oxford, someone has corrected the word understated to overstated. So I'm giving you a guided tour of historical modern medicine. Here we go. Many modern medicines are derived from natural plant compounds. Here are 3 ingredients. This is something that you might find interesting. The active ingredient in aspirin, salicin, was originally derived from willow. Another ingredient, digoxin, I assume that's pronounced that way, used to treat heart failure, was derived from the foxglove. And Taxol, chemotherapy drug, was originally derived from the bark of the Pacific yew tree. Absolutely crazy. Well, it's not crazy, is it? It's almost, I mean, that's modern medicine, but how much have we forgotten? Deadly nightshade. Not quite sure what the deadly nightshade is, so I won't go around poking it. So, it's only right to show you the fountain. I can't believe that ginkgo tree. Look how visual it is from so far away. Absolutely fascinating to think that for over 400 years this site has been and played such an important role in the science of plants, and will likely do so forever now, given the heritage that this has for another 400 odd years. Let's see if there's anything of interest here, but I think we've pretty much captured everything. This is all asterids, super asterids. But nothing really of interest to myself. I don't know if you can see inside the building. I'm going to have a look if you can. I mean, there's someone's slippers there. Am I looking into... Is this part of the garden, or is this someone's stately home? No. That's all you can see, unfortunately. So when you do visit, you do get a map. It doesn't tell you what that building is. Maybe that building is not part of... Such a nosy Parker. Alright. So, Oxford Botanic Gardens, everybody. As I say, I will capture a little bit as I walk through Oxford, so the video won't end here. But if you're not interested in Oxford itself, thank you for watching. Okay, so I'm literally just outside the front, and I'm just going to have a quick walk around this garden here, but it says, beneath this garden lies a medieval cemetery. Around 1190, the Jews of Oxford purchased a water meadow outside the city walls to establish a burial ground. In 1231, that land, now occupied by Magdalen College, so that must be part of the college where I was just looking through the back windows, was appropriated by the Hospital of St John, and a small section of wasteland where this memorial lies was given to the Jews to use as a new cemetery. An ancient footpath linked this cemetery with the medieval Jewish quarter along Great Jewry Street. For over 800 years, this path has been called Deadman's Walk, a name that bears silent witness to a community that contributed to the growth of this city and early university throughout the 12th and 13th centuries. In 1290, all of the Jews were expelled from England by King Edward I, and they were not permitted to return for over 350 years. May their memory be blessed. So this is quite a surreal little area then. I mean, it just looks at face value like exactly what it's described as, a rose garden. Well maintained. And I'm sure this is a site in spring and summer. We've got some late blooms coming through here, some there. But we're walking on a historic cemetery. One of which everybody buried here, while memorialised, are long since forgotten. Okay, so that is a college. I was looking through. I can see there's a bunch of students in there. What a place. Can you imagine going to study in there every day? Wow. I might have paid more attention at school. I mean, this whole area is just absolutely beautiful. So yeah. A nearly 1,000-year-old cemetery ground. Not quite sure how I feel about that. Okay, so I'll record a little bit. That's where I've just been in. That's the college building. And this is just outside. Most of this belongs to, I believe, the university. And I think some of it you can actually gain access to. But I'm always a little bit uncertain about poking my nose into places and then finding out you can't access them, which seems to be a habit of mine.
Really well sharing about the town centre.
I remember last time I was here, it was a few years back, I remember it being much less, having much less traffic and many more bicycles, but maybe it was a warmer time of the year. There's still quite a large number of people on bicycles. What I've seen as well, and I'm not sure I'll record right down into the centre where all the shops are, but what I've seen as well is Oxford's, you know, quite an upper class place, and you can see that in the shops alone. The shops aren't, well, let's put it this way, I haven't seen a Greggs But there's far, far more beggars than the last time I was here. Wow, look at this. You can't see it yet. It's fenced off. Wow, look at this building. Look at that. Beautiful. Mercure Hotel. It's not like the Mercures I've stayed in. I don't know where I'm going, I'm just having a wander. There might be something of interest down here. Lovely old cobbled road that I keep tripping up on. Logic Lane. This bridleway is open to the public in winter. It's got opening and close times. So I'm going to try and find whatever that big tower belongs to. Much like a homing pigeon, I will zone in on it. And I'm sure I'll be delighted with what I find. I'm really struggling to walk on this. You wouldn't want to come down here if you're of poor mobility. Please do not park bikes here as they block wheelchair access. You wouldn't want to come down here on a wheelchair. Organ recital. It's closed.
That's just going to be great.
Okay. Slightly underwhelming, seeing as I can't get in to have a look around. But I guess if it's part of the college or the university, what can you do? Merton College Chapel. Right. No. Here we go. What's this? This gate will be closed at dusk in the winter and 6:30 PM in the summer. Do I want to have a walk down here? Why not? Let's see what I can find. Oh, that's a hell of a walk. Will there be anything exciting to see through this gate, or will this get deleted? What an interesting looking gate. One that I just fit in. There's lots of interesting stuff. And let's follow those tourists. Are they getting in? I don't think they are. I'm not sure how I feel about so many wonderful spaces being closed off to the public. Feels a bit... I mean, it's Oxford. It is elitist, but what a waste of beautiful space. So I'm now heading towards those spires. Well, I believe I am. I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier, but I've just checked Google Maps, and I think I can do a right here. And oh wow. Wow, 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 wow. What is this place? Please keep off the grass. What are those pigeons doing? They've just stuck to the wall. Bizarre. Right, let this tractor go past. Christchurch. Tickets. Welcome to Christchurch. Tickets. That way. Where? Christchurch shop. Let's have a look, see how much the tickets are. I feel like the way my life is unfolding at the moment, being closer to God might not be a bad idea. Two of Christchurch's famous landmarks, Tom Tower and Oxford's Cathedral Spire. I mean, that's quite expensive. £20. I'm going to go into the shop and see if there's anything that can justify that sort of entry fee. Right guys, I'm in full on tourist mode. I've got my headset. I'm going in, so I'm going to actually start a new video for this, which will be uploaded at a different point. But the woman was very helpful at the desk. She upsold me well. Here I go. Well, that's Christchurch College in Oxford. £19 to get in. Fairly interesting. Not sure I'd pay the money again though. yeah, maybe if you're a big fan of architecture or particularly religious, or have a connection with Oxford in some way. Gosh, I've done some steps today. Right, so thank you for watching this video. I don't know what's coming next. Right guys, I think I'm on the home stretch. I'm all architectured out. I've obviously split this video into two. So we've got the Botanic Gardens and then a walk through Oxford, which I'm about to wrap up. And then I've just been in there, Christchurch, which I'll put as a separate video because it's worthy of it, I think. You might want to watch the Botanic video and not that, or you might want to watch both. I don't know, I'll leave it up to you. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. I need to find my way back to the car park, find the car, and then find where I'm staying for the evening.